another home. Tonight, the mayor addressing the attack that's drawn citywide condemnation.
Wow, it's just absolutely just gut-wrenching. It's appalling.
Mayor Brandon Johnson following a day of high emotion at his Forest Southside school.
I just think that it's an outrage, and I just feel like we got to do better as parents, maybe community, maybe as the school, and this could have been prevented.
The Monday afternoon attack happened down the street from Orville T. Bright Elementary as a 33-year-old mother was walking home with her children, including her 9-year-old son, who relatives say has long been the victim of bullying. Video shared tens of thousands of times on Facebook shows a woman being punched before the assault turns even more violent. We blurred the faces of those involved because they're minors and no charges have been filed. We've frozen the video here because it's so graphic.
By far, the most difficult video that I've ever watched. The pain and the suffering that family endured was quite horrific.
That's crazy. Kids is fighting adults. Where's the parents at? Why are they being accounted for?
Top city officials, along with representatives from CPS and CHA, meeting at the school with that injured mother, who's now being relocated along with her family.
Of course, we want to make sure that there's accountability, but there's also something very disturbing about children carrying out such a violent act. There's clearly a need for some intervention there as well.
Sources tell us as part of the investigation, some students will be questioned, but police are proceeding with sensitivity because they're minors.
Okay. Hello. Good afternoon, good morning, wherever you at. Good evening, whenever you hear this. Hope you having a blessed day. Hope you are staying out the way. You know, the family's safe. Your kids is good, the husband, the wife, you know, however your situation is laid out. I hope y'all stay blessed. But my topic for today on this live is grown kids. As you can see, that's on my thumbnail. I labeled this live grown kids. And I'm gonna start it like this. Like you heard the clip. I'm sure you heard about the issue, the situation that went viral out there in Chicago. Group of kids jumped on a lady and her kids. You know what I'm saying? Very unfortunate, right? Very unfortunate. Horrible. But check it. I'm gonna keep it 1,000, man. I'm gonna keep it 1,000. I haven't heard nobody come from this angle on this internet, which is, you know, to me, very disingenuous. Cause it's bigger than this situation. It's bigger than this situation. I always talk about conditioning. I always talk about exposure, you know what I mean? Like the wool being pulled from over your eyes, like it ain't no surprise. You know what I'm saying? Like I always come from that angle, basically keeping it 1,000. I can't help it. I can't help it. So I'm gonna start off like this. A lot of us grow up with our parents. Do we not? A lot of us is growing up with our parents. Our parents is growing up with us. Am I lying? Let me know. You follow what I'm saying? Like a lot of us grow up with our parents, man. Like meaning, check it, meaning they don't even know how to process conflict, conflict resolution tactics, or process emotions, or process trauma. Let's keep it 1,000, man. Let's keep it 1,000. Like, you know, that's the first thing I thought of when I seen this. It's like, this ain't nothing new. I could recall seeing that plenty of times growing up. plenty of times growing up. Kids fighting adults. I can even say I've done it. I can even say I've done it on the court, on the field. You know, we playing football with the old heads. We playing ball with the old heads. I'm gonna pull out another point too. Like shit, being that I said that we grow up with our parents, we grow up with our, our elders or whatever. Like meaning, also you could look at it from the angle. A lot of them, which this is, this could be very subjective, but at the same time, a lot of them don't even let go of their youth. Like, and that could be a gift or a curse. Like, and it's not popular in our community for it to be a gift. Just follow me. Like, people be walking around. I talk about this for years, man. Like, the conversation. Like, you ever have a conversation with a brother, or have a conversation with a sister, and you ain't trying to belittle them or what have you. You're not trying to look down on them or talk down on them. But even that conversation is still childish. The conversation is still childish. You know what I'm saying? You can hear the little, vernacular. It's one thing that we have a culture, right? We have a culture of having a vernacular, right? We have certain, ways we say things and express ourselves. But, once again, I'm going to keep it 1,000. A lot of it be childish, no? A lot of it be childish. And period. YN. On that note, the fucking YN, I think some white man made that up. I think some white man pushed that through the internet, because we've been saying that, my generation is the first on that one. And not the YN, we wasn't on no acronyms and shit, but, as far as young nigga, like that, young bull, like that's all, yeah. But at the same time, boom, what I'm trying to say is a lot of the shit that you gotta admit that we grow up all together, man. I'm talking about, and there ain't nothing wrong. Like you gotta decipher the difference of what I'm talking about. Like, yeah, it's cool to, you know what I mean, raise your kid up, and you holding on to your youth, and you can connect to your kid in a youthful way and things like that. Okay. But let's keep it 1,000 on what I'm saying is, on the other side of that equation, raising your kid up and you ain't even outgrow your youth, meaning you haven't matured. You haven't matured. Like, I can recall, which my mother very rarely did this, but I could recall even being around homeboys and shorties being around I'll be over their crib and I hear their parents talking to them about grown shit. Talking to them about bills. This is just how we grew up, man. And you could keep going. Like, shit, she up here gossiping to her about some grown, about some another grown lady, one of her friends or some shit. Men do it too. I can say I'm guilty of that. I'm guilty of that. I'm not speaking from a space of being distant from this issue. We be living out here on, as grown ass kids, still trying to hold on to a youth. In the wrong way though, in the wrong way. So what the fuck you think is gonna happen when the kid, that you supposedly be the parent, you supposed to be the guardian, right? Or the guidance or what have you, influence, positive influence. They see how you react. They see how your emotional intelligence is lacking. What do you think is going to come from that? You know what I'm saying? What do you think is going to come from that? They're going to do exactly what the fuck they see. They see how this is how you assess that issue, so they're going to do the same exact thing. Then when they get out in the world, you know, boom, they walk to school or, you know, be around their peers, shit. They, you know what I mean? They're reacting the same way that their parents, what they know, what they was taught. They're doing what they was taught. You know, and once again, like I said, boom, if you got a parent that hasn't graduated to maturity, graduated to learning how to deal with conflict, you know what I mean, deal with anger, you know what I mean, deal with, you know, the different stresses that come with this life shit, like what you expect. We just get older and older, but still be childish in our minds, childish in our ways. These is facts, right? These is facts, man. I'm speaking from straight, you know what I mean, humility, man. Shit, I'm one of them. You can hear it in how I talk. I'm one of them. You know, it's still a process every fucking day. It's still a process. I talk about that all the time. I'm working on how can I disarm people? How can I be approachable? How can I approach people? And, you know, these is all things that, you know what I mean, require maturity, require accountability, right? It requires, you know what I'm saying, actually stepping back and reevaluating yourself, reflecting on, you know, of course, your experiences, you know what I mean, your setbacks. I done had many setbacks on just pure emotions, man. Pure emotions. Like people are talking about in that situation, like, oh, you know what I mean? Boom. The first response you get is motherfuckers want to beat the kids, lock them up, beat the kids, lock them up, and it's like, and then boom, they move to the parent. You know what I mean? Oh, it's the parents' fault. It's the parents' fault. It's like, man, it's the whole ecosystem's fault. You know, and it's not just the black community either. The whole fucking ecosystem, a whole society is grooming this type of behavior. Like, let's keep it 1,000. Not just with negativity. Everything is childish. Everything is childish. I talk about the word fun a lot. The word fun always makes me laugh. Like, you know, because it's subjective. Motherfuckers, you know what I mean, still hold on to, you know, what they was doing when they was younger, knowing damn well, you know, when you're younger, you don't know that it's destroying you. But then you get older, you still doing those fun things, the quote, fun shit. You know, what's fun here in America is destructiveness, you know, let's keep it real. Bully culture, that's popular. All that hazing, you know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers like fighting, you know what I'm saying? They like violence, they like horror, gore. We be making the degenerate shit fucking popular, man. You know, people talk with like little baby voices and shit like that. You got grown ass women and grown ass men talking with baby voices and shit. You know, that's one thing I never got into when you talk to a kid. And me being me, you know, me being me. If I'm talking to a kid, I don't switch up my voice and, you know, hey, how's it going? I don't do all that stupid shit. You know, I just never got into that. But it's saying something to me, because it snowballs into, you know, follow me, man. It snowballs into a whole culture of just not taking nothing serious. You know, and of course, you know, I'm not talking about a toddler or you know, an infant or whatever the fuck. I'm talking about a kid that actually is registering shit. You know what I'm saying? They play on their tablet. You know what I'm saying? A kid that, and I ain't saying you got to talk to them aggressive, but shit, it starts from the bottom. It starts from, you know what I mean? In those years, it's very critical. People be thinking that it ain't. People be thinking that it ain't. Like, I can remember all the way back to when I was 3 or 4, man. And I can tell you shit very vividly, very vividly. You know, the bum on the street, because I grew up in the city, so I'm riding the bus, the trains, all that shit. I'm seeing all this as a young boy. I'm seeing how how that bum on the street, like, you know what I mean? I'm also seeing the man with the briefcase. I'm also seeing the lady with the sundress and the big hat in church. I'm also seeing the lady that, you know what I mean? She out there. And you thinking that, fast forward to relate to this issue that went on in Chicago, and you thinking that kid is going, when it comes down to situations, how you think they gonna react, like a kid or an adult? And I ain't justifying it, of course, it's wrong. It's wrong. All I'm saying is it's bigger than that. It's bigger than that. I'm making adult decisions when I was a little boy. Riding a bus, and like I said, walking to the store. I've been walking to the corner store since 6 years old. By myself. Riding a bus. By myself. And I'm sure that equation hasn't changed. And what that required you to build some type of enamel, right? Some type of strength. Jumping off the porch and you around adults and shit. Man, you start talking like an adult. Like, what the fuck is you looking at? You know what I mean? This is just how it is, man. I hate when people try to act like, you know what I mean, it ain't what it ain't, man. They try to act like, you know what I mean, you can't see what it really is. Like, it's always been that way. Adults talking to you like you an adult, and the kid responding like a fucking adult. Like the kids doing the little dances and, you know what I mean, all that shit, and the adults doing it with them. The kids rocking the J's and rocking the gear, the new gear and all that, new trends and shit. What is the adults doing? They trying to do the same thing. In a way, it could be, that's why I said it's a gift and a curse. I could see if you're doing it in the manner of, man, you just trying to hold on to your youth. You just trying to hold on to your youth. But how long you gonna hold on to it? Like, at least in that manner. Like, when we gonna grow the fuck up and, you know, teach, you know, because obviously you got a position where you are there to teach your kids or teach any youth, any younger person around you. Not just your kids, it's everybody. It's everybody. Like I said, man, I done got into fights with grown-ass men over games of Madden. A 30-year-old something, 35-year-old, you know, fought me when I was like 15 over a game of Madden. I always talk about that because it resonates with that story with Lil Snoop. He lost his life just playing the game of Madden with an older cat. All off of talking shit. You know how we talk shit when we play the game or play ball or whatever the fuck we do. See, look, that highlights what I'm talking about right there. The grown man is sitting up here emotional as hell. Not saying that lady that got jumped on by those kids was, you know, I don't even know the ins and outs, the details of it, you know, as far as if she was antagonizing them, which I doubt, you know what I mean? You know, but just from the collective, as a collective, no matter where the fuck you go, north, south, east, west, man, our communities, we hold on to the youth, man. You know, we got aunties that's talking like they teenagers and shit. We got uncles that's talking like they teenagers and shit. Let's keep it 1,000. Meaning, you know, look deeper. That they ain't you not showing the youth that you leveling up. So why the fuck should they? How are they going to level up? How are they going to learn to fucking deal with conflicts, deal with their trauma in their brains? How they going to learn to deal with all that shit when they see you and they look up to you and they see that you still twerking and shit, you still, you know what I mean? Let somebody run up on me, you know? We got grown men talking like that. I'm one of them. I'm one of them. You see what I'm saying? Like, this really hit home with me, man. This really hit home with me. You know, it's unfortunate for that people, you know, that lady and her kids. That's crazy as fuck, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you know, like I said, it's bigger than that, man. It's bigger than that. Let's just keep it 1,000. It's bigger than that. It's way bigger than that. There's a lot of grown ass motherfuckers that can't even read, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Can't even do math. You know what I'm saying? Didn't even graduate. Didn't he? And this is across the board. This ain't just black community. This is the culture here in America, man. You know what I'm saying? Talk to somebody on your lunch break at your job and shit. And let me know how the conversation go. Are y'all talking about stocks and bonds, or are y'all talking about bullshit? Let's keep it 1,000. Matter of fact, look, here's a perfect example. Here's a perfect example. Motherfuckers, when you post something, if you post something that's positive, like for change or promoting, change, or, you know what I mean? Like something like that, it's crickets, right? It's crickets, depending on who I'm talking about for the common man, us common men down here, whatever the fuck, common men and woe man. Like you ain't no celebrity and shit like that. You post something like that, it's crickets. Boom. Soon as you post something drama, you know what I mean? Soon as you post something all degenerate and shit, motherfuckers is buku comments, right? Buku likes. I do that all the time. I do my own analytics like that. I do that all the time. I'll post something ratchet as fuck, and I notice that it'll run it up. But if I post something like, man, we need to boycott they shit and then build up our own businesses. Keep your dollar. You know what I mean? Take a break for a year. Take a break. Take a break fast from their bullshit and hold your dollar and build your own shit. We need laundromats. We need gas stations. We need fucking hospitals. You know what I mean? We can keep going. And it's crickets. And, you get your twos and fews, but you won't get the masses. The masses love that bullshit, man. They got a thirst for that bullshit. And the kids see that. Stop it. Stop acting like you don't see that shit, man. The kids hear you say, man, I'll smack the shit out of that nigga. The kids see that. I'll blow that nigga head off. The kids see that. They in a hurry to be like you. They in a hurry to be like you. Stop it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's a poison. It's a poison. Like you ain't even out of your youth stage. You're not even out of your youth stage, man. Know how you could look at your kids. You talking to your kids about grown shit, bills, what such and such said. Y'all sitting up here got your own little camaraderie about gossiping about motherfuckers, talking shit about other motherfuckers, grown ass people in your family and different aunts and uncles and sisters and brothers or whatever the fuck it is. Knowing you older, right? And you talking to a kid about adult shit, grown shit. This person, they can't even register how to process the politics of what the fuck you're talking about. But you teaching them how you do it, how you process it. And you ain't even, emotionally intelligent. You ain't educated yet. You still handling it, very adolescent wise or what have you. You know what I mean? Like these is facts, man. These is facts, Like I said, with that situation, that's immediately what I thought, man. Yeah, people saying, oh, you should attack the parents or whatever, hold the parents accountable. I was taught that as well. Anything that I do, it come back on my mother. You know what I'm saying? It come back on your family. It come back on your, on your people, and it could be on some shit like, it could be on some shit that you got, which is rare. I've noticed this now that I'm older, or years ago, but I've noticed that I had a rarity in my mother. I had a rarity in my mother and my grandmother. I had a very rare equation, man. Like I always said to her, shit, if you wasn't my mother, I would have thought you was a cool lady. That's what I've always said. Like if If you wasn't my mother and I seen you on the bus or some shit, like I would have thought you was a cool lady. And like you don't run into that, man. You don't run into that a lot. Like where people will have the greater interest, you know, put their self a lot. You don't see a lot of parents putting their kids actually first. It's good to sloganize. Motherfuckers love to, you know, talk that shit, but a lot of people don't practice it, you know. Perfect example, like you'll see the parent got, you know, she geared up. She got a new purse, you know what I mean? Looking nice, hair done, all that shit, nails done, and the kid looking like shit. Like how many times do you see that? You see that a lot, right? You see that a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? You see that a whole lot, you know? It's like, damn, so your vanity is more important than, so you can only imagine. You can start going going down the checklist, checking off the boxes. You can only imagine that parent ain't teaching them, you know, conflict resolution. Fuck no. Like, you mean it? Yeah, right. She worrying about Nike signs and Louis V bags and shit. Let's keep it 1,000. And this is how the society is, man. I ain't just talking about blacks. This is across the fucking board. Motherfuckers be worrying about bullshit, food, and when that new movie come out, and, you know, where we gonna go on vacation. I always talk about getting back to the basics. I wasn't even raised with a lot of the basics, but a lot of the shit that I did learn was the basics. And then when I got out here in this world, I still talk about this to this day with my mother, that it really blew my mind that, you know, a lot of the things that she equipped me with, a lot of people don't even do. From the most minute shit to the most extreme shit. But they're all important. A lot of people don't even do. And then it's a lot of things that I don't do because she didn't know. You know what I'm saying? Or that anybody around me didn't know, you know? Financial literacy, you know what I mean? We learning all this type of shit, you know? I'm still to this day afraid of credit cards. That's perfect. I don't even fuck with credit cards. Now, look, I can even tell you the ins and outs about it. I'm very knowledgeable on it now, but I'm still hesitant on that move. All off of being programmed and conditioned of, oh yeah, stay away from them credit cards. Just hearing it once, kind of like when your mother told you, don't touch that stove. You know, don't sit on my fucking coffee table. Shit like that. You know, it comes back to conditioning. I always talk about conditioning, man. We're conditioned in a lot of, you know, we talk about generational wealth, where there's generational traumas that we just conditioned in, man. We just fucking conditioned in. And it takes stripping ourselves of the bullshit and reverting back, you know, to the basics. You know, reverting back to the basics. And when I say when I talk about reverting back to the basics, man, and this is obsolete to my generation and shit. Well, you know, I didn't have conversations with homeboys about the Bible or the commandments or any God's laws or none of this shit growing up. Even it took a long time before my mother was even able to implement that in our lives. You know what I'm saying? Because she didn't know. Now, I'm sure it's like that across the board with a lot of us. The basics, like it ain't even popular to just, you know what I mean, move in a righteous manner. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at shit like this. I give you an example. Look at shit like this. Like a bitch thinks she got to show cleavage just to get a man in this society. She got to show her ass. Like, basically leave no imagination to the nigga. Meanwhile, this nigga rock his hell through his pants and shit. You know what I mean? Like, the order of the courtship is all backwards. That's just one example. Like, y'all gonna fuck before y'all even build a foundation. Y'all gonna fuck before y'all even get to know each other. That's how y'all get to know each other. And you think the kids don't know that? You think the kids don't know that's how it go down? It's a lot of shit like that, man. It's a lot of shit like that. It's a lot of shit like that. It's a lot of things just like that. It's a lot of things just like that. The kids is in a hurry to smoke blunts. The kids is in a hurry to, you know, jump behind the wheel and do donuts and speed and bump their music. You know what I'm saying? Let's you know, like how my favorite era. My favorite era is the 20s, man. My favorite era is the 20s. My favorite era is the 20s. You know what I'm saying? People had on, you know, they slacks. Had they slacks, they button up. You know, ladies had their sundresses on. You know, past their knees. You know what I'm saying? Hair done, chest not showing. Everybody saying, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. You know what I'm saying? And I just like that era because you can see that it was more, I want to say self-respect. Like people loved themselves and they loved others. Like it was, I talk about this a lot, respect culture. It was a respect culture. You know what I'm saying? People holding the doors. And yeah, it was a lot of what? These is the you know what I mean? The beginnings of our oppressions and shit. Like I'm talking coming out of slavery or whatever, people was reconstructing, you know what I'm saying? Even through slavery, we had this type of outlook on our people, on each other. You know what I'm saying? But especially once we came out of slavery into Reconstruction era, yeah, you know what I mean? People just walk with their head up, you know what I mean? And yeah, you may say, and I already look at it like this, it was bred, it was groomed through the pain, you know what I mean? Like all we have is each other. All we have is each other. Now, fast forward to now, people is like so far removed from that. So far removed that too many people is smelling their own shit. You got people with identity crisis, you know, motherfuckers thinking they this and they really not, you know what I mean? And they'll live their whole life like that. It starts as a kid. The kid is seeing that in their parent. The parent has an identity crisis. The parent has mental health issues. You know what I'm saying? The parent don't got their priorities straight. The parent don't know how to handle conflict, make right choices and right decisions. Like this, you know what I'm saying? And that'd be a whole row house, you know what I mean? A whole block, whole 4-block radius of motherfuckers that are all the same way. That are all the same way. You trying to get tickets for you and your son or you and your daughter for YB, for NBA YoungBoy. You know, like these is just my examples, so you can understand me, man. So you can understand me. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing, like I said, it's like a fine line. It's like a fine line, like boom, like in order for you to me, you know, people talk about this all the time. In order for, you know, you to stay happy, you got to hold on to your youth, right? Okay. But there's a fine line of holding on to your youth when, you know what I'm saying, like you don't actually, like, you know what I mean? You don't decipher what to hold on and what not to hold on to, if that makes sense. Like if you sitting up here bouncing and jugging and all that shit with the youngins, and then on the flip side, you don't have the conversation to you know, teach them about conflict resolution or, you know, Fuck them switches. You don't need no switches, man. The switches is only gonna end you up in the prisons or on the grave. You know, more so the grave. You know what I'm saying? These are the things. You know, they talk about the prison, the school to prison pipeline. Like a lot of us didn't even know nothing about that shit like that. It was a whole play on us like that. Like they'll keep you fucking childish. They'll keep you childish. The prisons is full with childish ass men. Ain't that something? Childish ass men and women. More so than men, of course. The prisons is full up with them. You know what I'm saying? And then they get out here, it's like a newborn. They reset, you know, go do something when they 18, get out 35, and the nigga gotta restart all over again. I can say I've been in that situation. I was looking at trees and all kind of shit like it was like I was a newborn. Like I think there's something to be said about that type of shit. So you mean to tell me he's gonna be able to implement or teach his young boy, you know what I mean, his son or what have you, how to be a man, how to deal with conflict resolution, how to, you know what I mean, practice discernment? Nah. He's gonna teach him. It rarely happens. There's a lot of people that do this. There's a lot of men that do it, but it's not enough. Is what I'm saying. It's actually popular for the old head to tell him, you know, to strap up, to tell him, you know what I mean. Don't let nobody put their hands on you, knock them out. Which is nothing wrong with that. But you get what I'm saying. There's a fine line between not letting nobody put their hands on you and actually playing into the emotions, though. You know what I mean? Walking around with a chip on your shoulder. See what I mean? Walking around with I wish a motherfucker would type attitude. Like, am I wrong? Am I wrong? I'm still dealing with this shit at 40. I'm still, like I said, I'm not far. I'm not removed. I'm not removed from what I'm saying. I'm anything I ever say on my lives, I'm not saying it from a safe place or you know, eye high, pointing down or whatever, punching down. Hell no. You know, I'm still a work in progress every fucking day. You know, and so you know, it's to me that it's bigger than just say when a kid does wrong, boom, the one parent is held accountable. No, it's the whole ecosystem, man. It's the whole environment. It's the whole environment, from your movies to your show. You know what I mean? Your the different cultures, the music, all that, motherfuckers. See what I mean? Like it becomes cool. You know, this is why I always talk about that word as well. Shit be cool, right? And then it comes to a point where it ain't cool, man. Where that shit ain't cool. So it reveals that it never was fucking cool. You know what I mean? It never was. Like we just get conditioned into thinking, you know what I mean? Thinking shit is okay. You know, we make degenerate shit the cool shit. Like dumb. That's dumb as fuck, man. That's dumb as shit. You know, the women look for a gangster and tell the gangster fuck him over. All because she looking at the square like he can't protect himself. Little do you know, he's just not, you know what I mean, all chest poked out like the gangster is. And little do they know that the gangster is peacocking. You see what I mean? Like we make shit very, you know, topsy-turvy, upside down, backwards. Up means down. I talk about that a lot as well. Like the sky ain't blue. It's like this nigga's just peacocking. Yeah, he got tattoos all over his face, all that shit. Matter of fact, he's only gonna do the shit that you think he's about just to prove that he's got to uphold that image. He's got to uphold that fucking image. And then on the flip side with the women, boom, there's plenty of, like, I'm going to just use this as an example. This is what made me think of that. I just needed to say this on the example for the women. You'll see the bitch that's showing their ass and, loud and, you know what I'm saying, titties out. Our whole personality is loud and shit, right? And then it's false advertisement. It's false advertisement. You thinking she playing the block, you know what I mean? But she ain't working. You know what I mean? She ain't working. But a lot of them are. But then on the flip side of the equation, you'll see the square ass bitch. You know what I mean? She's getting straight A's. Her shit is all covered up. That'd be the whole slut right there. People, like, you see what I'm saying? Like it be this is the ecosystem that you live in. This is the society that you live in. Just like boom, here that trend they got going right now, the quarter zip trend, which I look back at my youth and I still dress like that, but I look back at my youth when we was rocking K-Swisses and khakis, you know what I'm saying, with the sweater vest, you know what I'm saying, and the polos, like, yeah, you already know. And at the same time, we in the streets though. We in the streets. like you can't judge a book by a cover, you know what I'm saying? You can't. I'm a church guy. I was born in the church, born and raised in the church and all that shit. Like I like the you know what I mean, the creativity. I thought that was very dope. The quarter zip thing, you know what I'm saying? It's just it can't just be just imagery, you know what I'm saying? It don't stop at the imagery. Like let's actually have these conversations. Like what you gonna do if somebody run up to you and call you a bitch ass nigga? What you gonna say? You know what I mean? Ask your kid that. What you gonna do? You know what I mean? They probably gonna say something that you done taught them. You know what I mean? Oh, I'm gonna knock him. You know what I mean? I'm gonna break his jaw or some shit. And it's like, you know what I mean? Wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like at this point in my life, I'll teach them to walk the fuck away. And of course, if you ask me that same equation, if I'm liquored up or I'm hired up or whatever, I'll probably have a different answer. But this is my true, innate default setting response. You know what I'm saying? That, hey, at this age, I would tell you, hey, you should try to, you know what I mean, douse out, try to, you know what I mean, get up out of there. Not on no bitch shit. No, I don't think you no coward or no bitch or nothing like that. Unless they put their hands on you, that's when you touch them. That's when you put them paws on them. But other than that, nah, man. And like I said, I'm still a work in progress. I get emotional, and then that's my resort. We all are taught to resort to, swinging them things, like or grabbing something. Like this is the trauma that we deal with. This is the traumas that we pass down. So when does that stop? How does that stop? The only way to stop it is to sit down and have these uncomfortable conversations. You know what I mean? Stop using monikers like, oh, that's a bitch ass nigga, or that's a pussy, or whatever the fuck like that. And you be calling him a pussy all because he ain't indulging in, the fuck shit like you doing. Like this nigga's like Trey. He was like, let me out. And then you're like, oh, that's a bitch ass nigga. Notice Doughboy wasn't even on that. He ain't look at him like that. He's like, that ain't him. We raised in cultures like that, where you a bitch ass nigga if you ain't smoking yet. You a bitch ass nigga if you ain't fucking yet. It's like, damn. You know what I mean? Like, he ain't you, nigga. He's not you. Or the broad be sitting up here making fun of a bitch because she ain't fast yet. She ain't got 10 bodies under a name at 15 or 16 and shit yet. She ain't sucking off every nigga. You looking at the other bitch that don't do that like, oh, something wrong with her. That's the culture we live in, man. I'm tired of motherfuckers acting like this ain't the real. I hate when people be trying to act like it's like thee than thou in this society. Everybody walk around, good morning, how you, friend? Like, nigga, you know damn well you don't give a fuck about me, and you know damn well you ain't having no good morning. Stop it. I understand you trying to promote, but it's false advertisement. It's false advertisement. Kids is fighting adults. Adults is fighting kids. Adults is sitting up here fucking kids. You know what I mean? Kids is fucking adults. Like, let's keep it 1,000. Everybody's sitting in the same ecosystem trying to kumbaya with each other. Nobody's taking the leadership role of, hey, I'm the man and you the child. Stay in the child's place. Nobody's doing none of that. Nobody's fucking doing none of that. If anything, boom, I could say, boom, true story. I done had old heads come to me, say, young blood, where the hoes at? It's like, what? That offended the fuck out of me. Say, young bro, where the hoes at? It's like, what the fuck? This is what we grow up with, man. Tell me I'm lying. This nigga standing on the block with you. He got you by like 10 years, 20 years. Stop it. And you think he's got like you think he's giving me jewels? You think he may give me jewels to survive in an environment like that, but do you think he's giving me like actual structure? Actual structure? No, it's not popular to talk about the corny shit. It's corny. It's not popular to talk about the corny shit. Like, for example, an older bitch only step in with a younger broad after she hit the, run into a wall. Fuck with a nuttin' ass nigga. And then, the older bitch done did that umpteen times too. So now she got the wisdom for the younger bitch, but it's after the fact. It's not even popular to talk to her like, oh, before she jump off the porch and do all that. Fuck no, it's not popular. Not, you know what I mean? In the masses, the twos and fews, okay. But as far as the masses, no, it's not popular. Nowhere near. Matter of fact, they competing with each other. They'll be competing with each other with the same nigga. That's what kind of ecosystem we live in. The kids and the adults are competing with each other. The adults are competing with the kids. That equation right there bothers the fuck out of me. You ever be in a situation as an older man or older woman, and you're trying to talk to a youth, and you already know how it's gonna go. You know how it could go, one ear and out the other, and you know what I mean. The I know. You already know they're gonna be like, I know. You know what I'm saying? And at the same time, you might grow weary of even trying to run that race with this nigga. You're like, man, fuck it. You know what I mean? Who the fuck is you talking to? You don't know, motherfucker. And then you grow weary and then you give up. You throw in the flag. You throw in the fucking towel. You give up. All because it's like, man, like, I'm going to just let the motherfucker bump their head. That's popular, right? That's popular. That's the common way to deal with them, right? You know what I mean? You be scared of the kids. There's a lot of adults that are scared of the kids. Let's keep it 1,000. When you were a kid, you had adults that were scared of you. You're trying to scare adults and shit. You talking to them like they your peers and shit. Like, shut the fuck up, nigga. I'm one of them. I grew up this way. I hate when people try to act like the world ain't what it is. And I'm not glorifying that shit. Like, I've been on the path of trying to unlearn a lot of shit. That's the big part of this. That's a big part of this. We have to unlearn a lot of this fuck shit, man. Stop teaching stop sitting up here listening to Sexy Red with your daughter. Y'all sitting up here twerking and shit together. Stop sitting up here rolling blunts with your son. You rolling a blunt right in front of him. And you're like, it's harmless. You thinking it's harmless. Because it goes further than that. It goes further than that. It's way further than that. Buy a book together. Buy a book together and read that shit. A chapter every week. And then sit down and talk about it. Change up the game. Make other shit popular. I always talk about making the commandments popular. This wasn't in my heart when I was growing up. You know what I'm saying? This wasn't in my heart growing up. I knew it was common sense not to kill nobody. It was common sense on you know the some of them. But shit, there's so many. There's more than 10. There's more than 12. There's more than all that. You know. Like and it comes back to order. It comes back to order. Having order in the home. Having order in the home. You know what I mean? Teaching etiquette. You know. Teaching people how to use their words. You know. Express themselves in a healthier manner. Showing people how to disarm each other, you know, conflict resolution. I know none of that is popular. I already know. None of it is popular. It's boring. It ain't the fun. Like I said, it ain't the fun. They in a hurry to grow up and be just like you. Tell me I'm lying. Because you ain't even fucking grown up.